Okay, welcome guys. So today we are talking the Nigerian woman, and our main focus is the struggles and misconceptions of the Nigerian woman. Now, we often hear that they say Nigerian girls like money, or Nigerian girls feel. I think that's one thing that keeps standing out is they say Nigerian girls feel entitled. That they have the sense of entitlement. You have to take care of me, and if you're taking care of me, you have to take care of my family. And so, first of all, I want us to look at the struggles and the misconceptions. If these misconceptions are true, now also being raised as a woman in a very patriarchal society or a very male-dominated society, and then where we're now currently having this clash of old versus new culture. Do you understand? We're now into this wave of feminism, and there's this new wave of feminism, this, and so what, as Nigerian girls, choose about Tamara, and my friend then Greg, what do you guys think are the struggles of, because now I've picked women of different ages, so we want to hear the different struggles at different stages. And so what do you think are the struggles and the misconceptions? So what do you think? Do you think that Nigerian women are often misunderstood? There's also this thing that Nigerian women are aggressive, very aggressive. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Very aggressive. And yeah, even here,
I have a lot.
You gesticulate and go, well, that's rude, but this is how we talk.
This is how we talk, yeah.
This morning, I had to put a colleague straight at work. They misbehaved yesterday, so I told them, look, this what you did yesterday, please don't do it again. But for them, it's, oh my God.
Yeah, you're rude.
No, I'm just telling you, man, please don't do it again. I did like, don't do it again. That's simple. So girls, what do you think are often the misconceptions and the struggles?
Tamara, do you want to go first, or should I go first? Okay, I should go first.
You can go first.
Where do I start? Where do I start? There are plenty. There are plenty. So where do I start? Let's start with let me give you a few stories. So, there's one time I was talking to somebody, I can't remember, it was a guy, and then because I was using an S9 Plus when it came out newly. So I saved money by myself. I saved my own money and I bought an S9 Plus. It was 300 or something at that time. And I know why I bought it, because I had the business I'm running and I needed to take very clear pictures for these things. So I had to invest and buy the phone. And somebody said, this is your phone. Oh, this is the latest phone in town. I bet it's your husband that must have bought it for you. You did not buy this phone for it by yourself. And I said, why do you have to think that it is a man that bought the phone? Couldn't I have bought the phone myself? It's a lie. You did not buy this phone by yourself. It's a man that bought it. That's one. And it's like, it was hard because I was like, I don't know how I saved to buy money for this phone that I bought by my own hand. This was like a gift to myself. Yeah. So why would you just automatically just assume that a girl cannot buy a phone? That's one. Number two, I've had many occasions whereby, I go somewhere, I want to spend my own money. I go somewhere, go into a bar or a restaurant or a nice place. I want to just, spend money myself, eat and sit down by myself. And I'm sitting down by myself and somebody thinks I'm some maybe call girl that came to come and look for customer. You have those kind of funny stares, and then somebody comes to talk to you funny and you're looking at the person like, are you well? Like, do you understand? Do you understand? And I'll give you this story because this happened a couple of months ago. It should be in my bag. Just give me a second, please. Sorry, give me a second.
But this thing you're talking about, right? After years, I went to Nigeria. I was in Nigeria and I was with my friends, and we were in a bar and some, like, I don't know, 3-4 girls, a group of girls were sat having drinks, and I was saying to her, oh my God, this is great. Nigeria has changed. Like, girls can do this idea of girls' night out, and girls doing their own thing. It's really great. It's good to see. Like, coming from Europe, and the guy said, oh, but now Olosho them be not the girls' night out. No, okay.
Guy said what?
Huh?
Yeah.
He said the guy said what?
The guy said, oh, but not the girls' night out. Now Olosho them be.
Now I heard that brings me to the second story I was giving.
Now, don't jump into conclusion. Now, I don't think it's always the case, but on this occasion, unfortunately, he was right.
Well, I will not doubt that there are some people
Well,
who
you see,
actually.
these misconceptions, they
Yes.
just, they come from somewhere.
Yeah, I won't doubt that there are some people who actually, do the stuff and basically bad eggs spoil it for the good eggs. I won't doubt it, because the second story I was going to tell you, showing you clearly how the bad eggs spoil. So my dad is a very sociable person. He's the kind of person that whenever he comes into town, he takes me out for, we go out to have drinks or whatever. He's a very sociable person. That's how my dad is, and he has always, right from when I was 18 and I could drink alcohol, you take me to a bar and you eat pepper soup and all that. And you tell me, why I'm doing this. I'm like, why? So that no man will use it to deceive you, that kind of thing. So it always stuck.
Very key.
Chizoba, I have to cut you short here. Sorry, but he knows, like I've related this thing to him before. That's what my dad does to me. Like he said, what I'm doing is so that nobody take advantage of you.
Exactly. So with that, it and since then, like nobody can use some petty things to catch me. It's just like, so my dad came into town a couple of months ago. This is me with two children now, and he says, "Oh, let's look for somewhere to hang out." And I dropped him off at a bar that was close by to the house, and I said, "Okay, let me go buy pizza for the kids since I'm going to hang out with them because they're looking for something to snack on." I went and got pizza. So imagine, I'm giving you this story because I left him at the bar. Then I went away from the bar to go home and drop something. Then I went back to the bar by myself. So parking the car, walking into the bar, I realized I forgot my keys or something to the car. So I walked into the bar, there were people, and then I just made a quick U-turn when I realized I forgot something. I went back to the car. The first thing, some two guys were sitting just at the bar there, and one actually, I can't call it a whisper because I heard it. He actually said it to his partner, like, waiting on those show forget. And this is me, I'm not wearing anything skimpy. I'm wearing a freaking kaftan with jeans, and I'm not dressed anyhow. And I'm coming to meet my dad, and somebody just says, waiting Olosho forgets. Wow. The first instinct was to there and then, attack the guy and be like, that was the first thing in my head. But in my head, I just thought, he wasn't talking to me, he was talking to his friend. So obviously, let me pretend like I didn't hear it. So it's his business. So I just, ignored, and I sat down, and I told my dad that, can you imagine what this person just said? And my dad was like, where is he? Luckily, the guy had already gone. It would have been a fight. I know how my father is. So imagine you just see someone, you don't even know the person from Adam, and you already automatically assume that the person is something. I know that there are some girls that would have come and shown themselves and spoiled things, but you give some small discretion. I was in my head, I wanted to tell the man that if it was your daughter that walked into a bar like that and somebody just assumed, your daughter that you may have trained with good home training, just assumed that she's just like that, how would you feel?
You have people who pass judgment, rightly or wrongly, all the time. Now, that's not. I don't think passing quick judgment is restricted to just Nigeria. But when people make comments like that, it says a lot about them.
It does. It does. But it doesn't stop the thing that that's a thoughtful thing to say for somebody you don't even know.
Say, can you imagine if it was your daughter that you raised well? No, someone like that can't possibly raise a daughter well.
You understand? Yeah, I get that. That's why I didn't even bother to talk to him, because it didn't make any sense. Like, this person does it, it's not worth it. So I was like, it's not worth it. Let me just.
It clearly shows his level. But
exactly.
But the interesting thing here is this, right? Whether rightly or wrongly, that impression and that judgment comes from certain things. Might be seen things like that, they've experienced things like that, and do you understand? And so they make such judgment. But then it then takes us to, but why do we somehow it must be existent?
Yes.
Right. And so the issue is, why do we have this? That's what we come back to. What is the Nigerian woman struggle?
This is my opinion, and I could be wrong. All right. I think the whole chauvinism, in a sense. Now, a lot of men come and tell you, that they want a woman who is quiet, who is obedient, who is how do they call that English? Submissive, who practically for as far as they can, they are describing the description. As much as I know, is somebody who cannot even talk. They practically just want a dummy, like a sex doll that will just. Then they tell you that the girl should not.
Dummy or
I'm getting somewhere. Sorry. Then the girl should not. Okay, fine. You want somebody who is like that, who will depend on you, for lack of a better word. Then automatically you want the person to also work and make her own money, and then choose a side, like pick a struggle. I don't know which one you are. So now you get a lot of girls who, the ones who are like actually hardworking and they show themselves then you now see that they tend to term you as you are proud, or you are, I'm just working to make ends meet. I don't want to need to have to beg you. If you give me gifts, it's fine, but I don't need to have to depend on you. But because I am trying to be independent, I am now a bad person. I am now somebody that is not worth talking to. So, there's a clash between, and with everybody, with all the aunties and grandmas saying, oh, when will you marry? When will you marry? So there's a confusion between how should the girl be? Should I be the submissive one that is always begging for 2K, or should I be the one that is working and then people don't like me because they think I'm going to be rude and pompous? What do I do? So a lot of girls.
We're talking about the clash of new versus old.
Yeah, that new versus old clash. Yeah, like you said initially. So with all that clash, then you have girls who tend to be like, okay, they want to be the damsel in distress because most men like the damsel in distress. So in their head, to survive, they have to be the damsel in distress. The damsel in distress doesn't need to work. She just needs to tell the man that, okay, I know people that have probably gone on lunch dates with even before I got married, and then I was like, okay, let's split the bill, and then they feel insulted. I'm not trying to insult you. I just feel, what, let's split it. But then if I now say, okay, I sit my hand down and I'm waiting for you to pay, it's a problem because you feel like this one cannot, they're not contributing. So there's the confusion. You don't even know what, that's why a lot of people say, what do they even want? Because we don't even know what it is that they want. So you now have a lot of them saying, you know what, at the end of the day, what do I bring to the table? Remember, what do I bring to the table? You also said the thing, you also said the thing about women holding the key to sex and men holding the key to relationships. So a lot of girls feel like, okay, you know what, at the end of the day, they are giving the sex anyway. So you know what, they should be pampered and taken care of. There's an entitlement sense to that thing. You understand? It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to them. But then it's like, oh, they should be taken care of. They should be splurging. After all, I'm the damsel in this distress. The man should feel like a man because he's providing for me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Then you have those other ones that are the new generation who are saying, oh no, I'm taking the girl out, she too should be able to, pay for the bills, split it both ways, gender equality, blah, blah, blah. So with that kind of clash, you get a whole lot of girls who are just basically playing damsel in distress. Because when I hear people telling me, oh, all those plenty girls are like looking for urgent 2K, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, where did you guys meet these girls? I don't know how you can meet them because.
So I always say that. Where do you meet these people? Where do you meet people that
where do you meet these people?
Maybe the urgent 2K subscription fee.
Just that, because you. Go ahead. Sorry.
But I think this I think it's a whole I don't know if it's the clash of the old and the new culture is now causing this whole confusion of what should be or what should be. Just you see what I mean? And then we don't know what should be and against what is, and if what is what should be, or do you see what I mean? Or if it shouldn't be, kind of thing. And I think it's all down to this clash of old and new.
Let me say something that may not be directly related but indirect. It's like when they say people who bleach their skin and people who, so a lot of them say, oh, I like a girl with very nice natural skin. She has to be natural hair, natural everything. Okay. Then some people are thinking, okay, because they told them to go and marry a husband, they want to now be all natural. Meanwhile, you that you're all natural, the man did not see you. He went to go and pick the one that is as bleached as burnt bole with the fake lashes and the fake hair and the fake. So then you now have a lot of people wondering, okay, so what am I now being natural for? Let us all join the bandwagon and let us all be bleached and looking like bole with all the hair, fake hair. So it's that same damsel in distress thing. Okay, I'm being independent. Nobody is looking at me, and my grandmothers and aunties are asking me to go and marry. Might as well go and be the damsel in distress. After all, they are the ones that end up getting married. Then you turn to Olosho to go and become, because I heard a lot of girls saying they've been good girls since they did not come to marry them. That the Oloshos that they used to go and carry to church and wed. At the end of the day, is the confusion. What do you guys want? So
But no,
the
also,
exactly.
you also think that the independent modern woman is sometimes, I won't say oftentimes, sometimes seen as a threat to the average Nigerian man.
That's exactly what I'm saying, because that's
Yes.
exactly what happened. That's what
Maybe
happened.
most us, the average man, if you say, right? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Yes.
the average man, even down to even the ones that, because the only people
Thank
who
you. Not just
actually,
only the average men. I
yeah,
agree.
even the ones that you think that are supposedly enlightened enough to
Mm-hmm.
not think that way, you find out that that's exactly how they
How
think.
they think.
And I'm wondering if it is the environment, or if it is the way they're brought up, or if it
I
is
feel
just
I
the, yeah,
feel like I'll still relate it to an extent. I'll say our society, poverty, and I don't want to say education, like lack of education.
it is
But,
part of
but I know that's part of it, but I think I'll go as far as saying poverty is also playing a long this thing and role on this aspect because okay, like what she just narrated. Let me give you another example. A girl is driving one car and maybe Nigerians were impatient when it comes to everything. I would just say it. You're driving on the road and maybe something just happened, you had to just pause a bit. The way they will horn behind you, pop, 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 you can't even wait for a bit to know why this person actually paused. They just start horning and horning, and you turn and be like, it's a woman that is driving, and the next thing you hear, see him, see her, stupid, and shall man has bought a car for her. They will just say that, like, is that bad? Like a young girl cannot just drive, they will say that. So I feel like if
true.
at that enlightening and know that at a particular age or any age of your life, you can actually achieve whatever you want to achieve. Maybe they will not have so much of that kind of mentality to turn okay, so like what that girl just said, like turn any young lady or woman to be, oh yeah, prostitute or ashawo, or whatever it is and stuff like that. Like
Mm.
it's really bad. Sometimes you're even looking good and you're walking. You're even dressed, like she said, you're dressed normal. But they will just look at you, maybe your hair color. They'll say, see this one. Let me give you an example. This is my hair color for now, this period. I know how I go out and people stare. And I want to believe it's not because I'm pretty that they're staring. They're just wondering why is she having such kind of color on her hair. And they tell me,
that that the struggles and often well, the struggles and misconceptions of the most of the struggles and misconceptions of the Nigerian woman really stems from the misogyny society. Because what we're essentially describing now is I'm picking bits of misogyny. Like you see, like you say, the men will look down on the women. They think they almost hate women or look down on women. As do you see what I mean? And so women are this trash, if you like, to them. They're whores and all these things. So do you think that stems from that's kind of level of misogyny within the culture? But now the question would then be, does the culture teach Nigerian men to look down on Nigerian women?
hmm,
Do you understand?
I do.
Or is just one of the byproducts or the attitude of men towards women as seeing them as less human beings, which I don't think is the same in all the cases. But do you think it's just a byproduct of just the way the culture is or the way the society is built?
Society, culture, I feel all contributed, or rather is contributing. because it's still on.
Right. So again, Tamara, you mentioned poverty, and you also mentioned lack of education, but you said, oh, maybe not. But the thing is, though, I think not just poverty, I think lack of education also plays a big role.
True.
But again, we've also seen people who are educated but tend to behave
Sorry.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to paint it on just because you have a lot of enlightened people, and when they tend to relate to you based on this, you'll be like, I expected that this person should know better because you are educated and stuff like that. But they just surprise you like, no, it has nothing to do with education, stuff like that.
But there's this thing I've heard it said before that.
Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear
you. Yeah.
I don't know why it's low. Maybe I have to do the. Maybe I'll
we
call
can
back
hear you.
But maybe see if you can increase the volume. But we can hear you very clearly anyway.
I have to get back. I have to call back in. I can't hear you guys at all.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
Call came in. I interrupted this. So I can't hear you at all.
Okay.
Let me just call back in.
Okay. Let's continue. I've lost my train of thoughts now. But this education, we've had. Let me see if I can admit Chizoba. Right. I've heard there's this line to say that you can go through school, but school will not go through you.
True.
So
you're supposed to go through it, and it's supposed to go through you. You're supposed to go both.
So, and also education never stops, really.
No.
When a society start to chalk out this level of educated people who you see as educated, but like in the sense, well, they've gone through school, but school hasn't gone through them, then it goes back to the education system again within the society. But you see how all these things, from what I've got, all these struggles and misconceptions of the Nigerian woman still goes back and ties back to the society and the way the system is set up. So because the system has failed, let's be honest, with education, education, employment, it has failed. It has this domino effect on the people's thinking, the way they think, and the way they even view each other, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, something. I was going to say before I had to go back. I was going to say I want you to just look at this scenario, right? So a woman who is independent and probably earns a lot more meets someone she likes. Remember when we were talking about whether some people will see someone that doesn't have she has 6-inch pants but doesn't have anything, or whatever the case may be, or whether they'll marry them or not. There's some people who, ladies who work hard, earn their own money, and then they see somebody, think, okay, I can start a family with this person, and we can, and they end up, arranging everything and probably pretending that it's the man that is bringing all the funds. You have to pretend that it's the man that is bringing the funds, so make him feel good about himself, to make all your family members not look down at him. On him, I mean. So, they play that whole card and they get married, right? So every time she's going, they have to open a joint account because she wants to make the man feel comfortable and not feel like she's intimidating. He has to call the shots on how much they spend in the house. It's her money and she's working for it. And, it's going like that. And probably the man decides maybe he's not doing anything. And after a while, obviously he'll get frustrated at one point. He's a human being. You get frustrated at some point. Probably he gets frustrated because, like we said, the Nigerian mentality, the man is thinking, oh, maybe she says something which she would have said ordinarily, even if he was the one making the money and she was just a housewife. But because she has said that thing and that situation is the way it is, it's assumed that, oh, she said it because she feels she's the one that is bringing the money. Then there's that tension that comes in. And when the man now decides to say, okay, he wants to test his wide oars and goes outside, and then at the end of the day, it's the woman that gets blamed for it. Oh, you were talking to your husband one kind. Oh, you were pompous and showing your husband that you have the money.
Exactly.
That. Why wouldn't you? You're the one that chased your husband away to. Do you understand? How is it her fault? But the whole society, including women, and the
Yeah.
reason why I say including women, even though it annoys me, because I know most of those women are people who are depressed and whatever, and just trying to throw the attention away from themselves. But including women who come and shame this same woman that is trying so hard to keep her family afloat and pretending that she's basically, will I say, suppressing herself just to make somebody else feel good, and she still gets blamed for the problem.
You know,
To judge that kind of scenario, how would you think the person will feel? The lady herself would feel with everybody. It's saddening. Like what Nigerian. Go ahead.
all things are coming from somewhere. If you remember, I put a video on Instagram, I think, where it was talking about infertility in the African woman, and the society tends to blame the woman.
Yes.
Blame is on the man. You see, they'll say, now she no fit born. What we're saying is him that's shooting.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. I think these struggles come from society we live in.
It does.
Let's move away from society we live in. Choose about you've lived in the UK. You school there. And Tamara, you've interacted and you've been abroad. Now you've interacted with different people, right? And often there's this thing where, like that, well, Black women, and then worse still, Nigerian women are seen as aggressive. Now, the question is, are they really aggressive, or it's a convenient interpretation for a woman who is seemingly strong and opinionated? Now, as Nigerians, we are quite opinionated. We are quite strong people. Anywhere we go, we generally stand out and we make our points. And again, when we talk, we tend to gesticulate, right? And we raise our voice when we're excited, right? We laugh aloud when we are happy. We wear hearts on our sleeves. We speak our minds, right? Now, when you move to other climes, you're often seen as she's aggressive. You see what I mean? She's so masculine, she's so strong. Now, is it the case that these people fail to understand or have a clear definition of the term aggressive, or it's just, like you say, like I said before, a convenient term to tag a seemingly strong, opinionated woman? Do you understand what I mean? Now, this is often a misconception. So they'll go, well, Nigerian women are aggressive. Now, are they really aggressive?
If I may answer, I would say a bit of both. Nigerian women are, like you said, strong and opinionated because we are trained like that way. We are trained that way. Society also molds us to be that way.
Yeah.
You understand? And the kind of things you see in society, you just end up having to have strong opinions about things and having to be very direct and intentional with your actions, So yes, it's a convenient way of saying that we are opinionated, but then the aggressiveness comes from the fact that, again, my opinion and can be corrected. As a woman, you kiss a lot of frogs before you meet the prince. It happens everywhere. But in the Nigerian context of kissing a lot of frogs, there's some level of, mind my French, it's not, you can't hear what I'm saying. There's some level of bullshit you have to chop, that will harden you. And it's a norm like, I don't know how to put it, but there's this level of bullshit that you just have to chop. That when anybody else talks to you, you're already like, you can already smell the bullshit from far before the person lands.
But that, you see, what you talk about is that kissing a lot of frogs before you kiss Prince Charming. It's not just a phenomenon. Other women go through the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. It happens everywhere. A lot of people kiss in other countries, but I'm saying that in the Nigeria, it's like the way it is in Nigeria, where they say it's acceptable for, we had that discussion of it. It's acceptable for a man to have plenty women, but in other countries, the level of respect to you having, even if you are going to have a lot of women, there's the lady in question can basically have an opinion about and do something, and everybody will look at how, like, they're going to judge it kind of fairly. But in Nigeria, you as a woman, if you just open your mouth to talk about this, a problem. So that's what I meant by swallowing bullshit. So you are suppressed in a way, like, I don't know how to put it in words, but there's so much suppression of your feelings, because they say, oh, as a lady you cannot do this, as a lady you cannot say this, as a lady you cannot, as a lady, which doesn't happen in a lot of other cultures. So with that, when you now go out, when normally you go out as a Nigerian girl, you already assume that any guy that comes to meet you is already looking for one thing, and then he's going to play you and he's going to go. So there's the aggressiveness that comes with that already when somebody's already talking. Even, have you ever tried to toast a Nigerian girl in Nigeria before and see how it goes before you start talking about? And girls outside, they will first of all even be the one to
attack.
Do you understand? Even girls outside will toast you if possible. But a Nigerian girl, you have to toast her first. And you will chase the hell out of her with everything before she even. So there's that guard wall that is already, built around her because of her experiences.
You said because of what?
Because of her experience, what she has experienced, or she has basically heard other people's experiences, depending.
But do you also think that because of what we talked about, how women, or the Nigerian woman, is almost treated like a second-class human or some-class human being within the Nigerian culture, that also triggers that aggressiveness?
It does. That's why I said it's a bit of both. It's a bit of the upbringing, of being opinionated, and it's a bit of that aggressiveness from the treatment that a Nigerian woman receives for just being a woman.
But also,
do you understand?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You also because the society has this various expectations and pressure on the Nigerian woman.
Yes.
Almost judgmental. And because they are in this judgmental society, they tend to feel like they're fighting everything. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
They're always, so they can't trust anybody coming in. It's always that's because I'm fighting everything anyway. So why would you be different? Everyone is fighting and looking down on me. Why would you be different?
Exactly. So there's that defense. It's like a defense mechanism. You already have the walls built up.
Exactly.
What you're saying essentially is, but therefore agree that the average Nigerian woman is aggressive. But there is a reason for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. If Nigerian women were treated like, I tell some people, like, a lot of men will say, okay, that they don't like to date Nigerian women, but girls abroad, they like to show love and what. Okay, no problem. The white girls will show you love because they were trained in their own way and they can express.
Exactly.
The Nigerian woman can't obviously express herself so much. It's either you express yourself and you get played, or you express yourself and they say, oh, as a woman, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. So in other words, but then I tell most of the men that I say, the way you treat the Nigerian woman, if you check it really, is different from the way you treat the one abroad. So it is what you give out that you're going to receive.
True, you're so right.
Nigerian woman, the same way you treat the one abroad, you see that the reception she's going to give you, the feedback she's going to give you, will be similar to the one that is abroad. But You might shake your head. It might not be the same way for you, but I've seen.
Why I said that I might have to disagree with you there is this, right? We've met women who they've met a guy who's shown them love and like you said, treated them like, you know, women abroad. And instead of them to appreciate it and reciprocate it, they have gone, this one Amaga.
I get you. And I'm coming to that. Now, it's the same way everywhere. The same way you see a white woman that's expressing herself and then because she's being treated the way she's treated. That's the same way that you also meet a white woman that you show her the love and she's still going to see you as a maga. It happens both ways. But I'm saying in the Nigerian context, it feels like it is a lot more because, okay, let me say something and I'm going to be blunt and I'm going to be raw about this.
Well, of course, that's what we're here for.
Ha, okay. So this is me. And Tamara, please correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I'm talking from a woman's perspective. I'm going to go down to the sex part of it. Now, when it comes to sex, a lot of women, I'll focus on Nigerian women. A lot of women do not derive as much pleasure from sex as men. So a lot of women do not actually reach orgasm. So what they do is that they fake it because they think, okay, they see somebody, the person is showing interest, person is liking them, and then one thing leads to another, they have sex. So then they now try to pretend like, okay, they are doing it. The guy is enjoying himself. He knows he's just doing this thing and he's going. And the lady is trying to make herself feel, will I say, likable, for lack of better, I'm looking for the English to use. She's just trying to make herself look acceptable or some reason. There's a pretense to the whole thing. So that is why a lot of the time people, when you hear women talk about it, after all, the one where they give out for free, why don't I people make money out of it? I don't know if you get where I'm coming. I'm people giving out for free.
Yes.
If you were enjoying it the way the other person is enjoying it, you will not think about it as giving it out for free because it's pleasuring both of you. But because you feel like you're not even deriving any pleasure out of it anyway, you're just pleasuring the other person. So you feel wanting. Like you are lacking in the relationship or the short whatever the thing is, you haven't derived as much pleasure as the opposite sex has derived from it. So there is the tendency to want to be like, okay, I need to also gain something out of this, and the easiest way to do that is because of the situation, financial. So you now have to get a lot of women who feel like to them sex is a trade. Do you understand?
Yeah. That then becomes prostitution.
Exactly. Outright, it does become that. But I'm giving you how this links up to that. So, so because of that, and a lot of men do not know this, but trust me, it is very rampant with a lot of women do not get that sexual satisfaction when the guy does the thing, the woman is all right, or either pretending to reach or just going with the flow because she thinks, okay, this person will like her and now take care of her and da. Then when you now find that they're not even deriving it, you're not deriving first time, second time, you're not deriving, you just feel like, what are you even gaining out of this relationship? There's that tendency to feel like there must be something, them give and take. So what are you even, then if you should now add on top of it that the guy is now treating you in a certain kind of way, you now feel like, so you're even not even gaining anything, they are even treating you like trash. And so what exactly are you getting from this relationship? So there's that tendency to want to now monetize it and be like, okay, you know what, you should buy me this, you should buy it. So your mind, you feel like that's your own satisfaction in gaining from the relationship. Call it what you want, but that's how they are thinking it.
You could also love somebody, right? And the sex will still be rubbish.
I know. Trust me, I'm telling you basically why when you're talking about some people, the guy will show the girl the way he wants to show, and then the girl is still thinking of him like a maga. I'm saying, imagine somebody who has come up from that kind of situation where the person now thought, okay, I'm doing love, and you see that you're not doing the love, and at the end of the day, you're not gaining anything, quote unquote, I'm saying gaining. I'm telling you the way they think. Now, then you now jam somebody who actually now really likes you. But because you already built those walls as a Nigerian woman around you, that aggressiveness around you, so you automatically, it's like a transfer of aggression. Now see this third person as the same thing. So when the person is trying to show you all the love, you think maybe the same old way that they started with me and acted like they loved me and everything, and then they broke my heart at the end. So might as well. So that person is close to whatever if affection the man is giving her. So the man now feels, why? Do you understand? He's actually showing his affection to this person. This person is treating him like a bank account or a piggy bank. Then she breaks his heart. Then he now goes and says, oh, when he does that to the first person, the next person, it happens again. So people that are, the men that are experiencing those kind of women are women who have experienced what they have experienced from men. So it's like a ripple effect. And then you being the one who actually came to show love to this woman now ended up being the victim of somebody who has just come out from that kind of situation. And, do you understand? So there's that. I keep telling people, and I keep telling our youths, like, we think differently from the old generation. We should focus not on what this person is bringing and what that person is bringing to the table, but actually loving this person. Like, let's take away gains. Let's take away how this person feels, like, how this person makes this one feel, whether this one is making the girl is making the guy feel like pompous or big or whatever. Take away everything and what do you really like about this person and dwell on that with no judgment or however person. Like, you hear some women say, oh, they don't like mushy men, they don't like a man that expresses how he feels. But that's how he feels, and he's telling you, why should that be a problem? Why should you make him feel less?
I was actually coming to this issue of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So like someone like me, I like a man expressing his emotions. Like, tell me so that I know what it is that is going on in your head, and I know how to, treat it and how to work with it. Do you understand? But when you do all the macho, I don't know what's in your head. So if I do one thing and it crosses with your ego, it becomes a problem. So then we now start having problems. You understand? Accept people for who they are. If we all start doing that, even from the men to the women, and a lot of things will change. Like, if it was like in that text part I talked about, if the women can just forget about what your aunties and grandmas are saying, go and marry, you now want to pretend that you are something you're not just because you want this man to marry you. And probably the man is not even thinking about marrying you in the first place. And when he breaks your heart, you now start feeling bad and everybody suffers for it. Why don't these mummies and aunties just leave people alone to have their relationship and like themselves? They like themselves, they like themselves. They don't like themselves, they move on. People should be open and clear about relationship. You meet somebody, you know that you want to have a long-term relationship, let that be open. If you know it's just something let that be open. Don't pretend about it. I feel if people are more open about how they feel about someone, then move it, say it, let everybody know what they are doing, and then move on.
So you guys should know whether you're on the same page or not.
Don't understand. If you find that your woman is, even when the men are having sex with them, they should actually pay attention and see if this woman is actually faking this organism or she's really enjoying it. You don't.
No. If it's that, women are good. Oscar award winning.
Yeah, because women have perfected the act of pretending to. But there are some things that will let you know. As a man, a lot of things will let you know that this woman is actually probably not. You understand? And then when the woman, there are some women that will tell the man, oh, okay, well, I like you at this, but this is something you did not do when we're having sex that I did not like. I think I wish you could improve. The man gets offended. Why do you need to get offended by that? She liked enough to tell you. Do you understand? But your ego is not going to allow you to accept it and work on it and move on.
Tamara, I want to hear what you think.
Yes, please, Tamara.
Sincerely, you see me nodding my head because I agree with Chizoba. That's the truth. Like, for me, I like to communicate. I like to say it how it is. So like you said, if you can say it, no matter how bad you may look at it, like, or you don't like it, I feel like someone that really cares will tell you how it is. Like you said, it's your ego that will make you to like, why are you telling me? And start feeling a certain kind of way. But meanwhile, this person is telling you so that for next time's sake, and you can pay more attention and do it how she wants it or how he wants it. That's how I feel. I agree with you, Chizoba, like sincerely, we fake a lot. So that's one thing you know. But I don't know if it's like that with the guys anyway.
guys, liar, and not we don't fake comment, but
You don't.
not a lot to get to. No, let's not even go there. But now,
Yeah.
all these things we've talked about, I begin to like we talked about the emotions and like the woman who said, I don't want a mushy man, for example, or the women who can express themselves, or the men who can even, like you say, Tama, you like communications. I must say at this point though, that I'm talking to two women who are educated and exposed. So let's get out there so that you're thinking. Now, also, this is important because we know that there is a very low rate of education in Nigeria, right? And that's for a patriarchal society, right? Now, within that, now for a patriarchal society, there is already a low education levels, right?
Yep.
Very poor education standards and little or no education. It's really high, you know. Now, within that patriarchal society, imagine the women then. If generally there is low education standard or low percentage of educated people, now imagine how much more that lack of education is affecting the women, because it's a very patriarchal or almost a misogynistic society, right? And so which means that the way you think might not be might not be the average or the typical Nigerian man's thinking, you know. Now, I think another thing as well I picked up from what you talked about was, again, we're going back to how we're raised. If I have this conversation with somebody and you find that when you're raised in a culture where you're not, don't express yourself, oh, that's a woman thing to do, you can't be crying, don't do this. You grow up emotionally inept. You are emotionally handicapped. Which means that you don't know how to express yourself, you don't know how to show emotions or even how to receive love.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yes, exactly.
Now, all these struggles and often misconceptions, the misconceptions come from the struggles, right? Whether those misconceptions are true or not is immaterial, but we're looking at the fact that it comes from the struggles, and those struggles come from a society or a system or a culture that is to a great extent
judgmental.
Let me just use the word that is not very, very balanced for for both sides. And then coupled with, again, backed up with the lack of education, lack of exposure, and then that opens it up to the interpretation or misinterpretation of the culture and how it relates to people. But this has been quite interesting. Look, again, guys, please join us. Comment, put your comments, ask questions, put your comments in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. We also like to hear the men's point of view, so that it's
I agree. Yes.
Yeah, we also know.
Please do not forget to put your comments. Let's hear your views, if you agree with the ladies or not. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.